All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about something that, well, I think it hits pretty close to home for a lot of people. And that's this never-ending and honestly super expensive battle we fight against anxiety. So let me just ask you this straight up. Have you ever thrown money at the problem? You know, shelling up for apps, for courses, for supplements, just absolutely convinced that this is going to be the thing that finally cures you, only to end up right back where you started, and maybe even feeling more defeated than before? I ask because a friend of mine, she recently did the math. $4,000. That's what she spent in just 1 year on this mission to finally, once and for all, get rid of her anxiety. Welcome to Smiling Cottage. And the reason I'm sharing this today is because my friend's story is incredibly common. I mean, she was doing everything you're supposed to do, right? She had the premium subscription to the best meditation app. She paid for a huge mindfulness course. She even hired a coach and bought all those nervous system supplements you see all over the internet. She really put in the work. But after months of all this, her anxiety was actually worse. And now she had this brand new layer on top of it all, anxiety about why she was still anxious. You know, was she broken? Was she just not trying hard enough? It's brutal. But here's the realization that just changes the whole game. The problem wasn't her effort, and it wasn't even the tools she was using. The problem was the goal itself. Her whole mission was built on a promise that's basically impossible: the complete elimination of anxiety. Let's try to think about this differently. Imagine this. Would you ever buy a product that promised to cure your hunger forever? No way, right? It sounds ridiculous. We all get that hunger isn't a disease to be cured, it's a signal, a really important one that says your body needs fuel. Well, anxiety is the exact same thing. It is not a bug in your system, it's a feature, it's a signal. There's this evolutionary psychologist, Randolph Nesse, who calls this the smoke detector principle. Just think about it. Your anxiety is like a super sensitive smoke detector inside your brain. It's designed to be a little jumpy, because way back when, our ancestors who freaked out at a random rustle in the bushes, well, they were the ones who survived and passed on their genes. The whole system works on a simple idea. It's way better to have a dozen false alarms than to miss one real fire. Its only job is to keep you safe, not necessarily to make you feel comfortable. Okay, so to really feel how our brains deal with trying to turn these alarms off, let's just do a quick little experiment, right here, right now. It's super simple. You ready? Okay. For the next 5 seconds, I just need you to do one thing. Under any circumstances, absolutely do not think about a white bear. Ready? Go. So, what was the very first thing that popped into your head? Yeah, if you're like pretty much every other human on the planet, you immediately pictured a big, fluffy white bear. And this shows us this fundamental and kind of frustrating rule about our own minds. What you resist persists. The very act of fighting a thought is what gives it all its power. Now, this isn't just some weird little quirk. It's a real, documented thing called ironic process theory from a psychologist named Daniel Wegner. See, for your brain to check if you're not thinking about the white bear, some part of your brain has to keep a little picture of the white bear on file just to check against. And that constant checking is what keeps dragging the thought right back to the front of your mind. It's a paradox. And this whole idea builds into an even bigger pattern that Stephen Hayes, who founded acceptance and commitment therapy, calls experiential avoidance. Basically, it's our constant effort to dodge or suppress any feeling we don't want, anxiety, sadness, whatever it is. And the research on this is really clear. This constant avoidance is a huge risk factor for all sorts of psychological issues. And this is what creates that horrible, vicious cycle. So first, you feel that initial spark of anxiety. Let's call that primary anxiety. The smoke detector goes off. Then, your brain immediately goes, oh no, I shouldn't be feeling this, and you try to fight it, to push it down. But because of that whole white bear problem, you can't. The suppression fails. And that failure creates a second, much worse layer, secondary anxiety. Now you're feeling anxious about being anxious. And that feeling, that's often 10 times worse than whatever started it all. Okay, now here is the really crucial part. There is an entire multi-billion-dollar industry out there that isn't just designed to make money off of this loop. It's designed to keep you stuck in it. The business model is practically a carbon copy of the diet industry. They sell you an impossible dream, permanent weight loss, or in our case, the total elimination of anxiety. So when you inevitably fail to achieve this impossible goal, you don't blame the product, you don't blame the premise, you blame yourself. I mean, a massive UCLA study found that almost everyone who goes on a diet regains all the weight, but they don't stop dieting. That self-blame just pushes them to go buy the next thing because they're convinced that they are the problem. You have to get this. Your feeling of failure, it isn't a bug in their system. It is the system. Failure is the feature. That's what drives repeat business and keeps the whole machine running. So if the goal of getting rid of it is actually the trap, what's the way out? Well, the solution isn't some new magic pill or secret technique. It's much simpler. It's just a new goal. You have to totally change your approach. It all comes down to learning the difference between a helpful tool and a seductive trap. A tool is something that helps you change your relationship with anxiety. It's a breathing exercise that says, hey, this can help you ride the wave when things get intense. A trap, though, a trap promises to eliminate anxiety completely. That's the course that sells you on 21 days to say goodbye to anxiety forever. One empowers you to deal with a totally normal part of being human. The other just sets you up to fail. So I really just want to leave you with this one simple question you can use as a filter from now on. The next time you see a product, a course, an app, anything promising to help with anxiety, just ask yourself this. Is this designed to help me change my relationship with this feeling? Or is it promising to get rid of it forever? One of these might actually help. The other one, well, it's almost definitely a trap. And just knowing that difference, that's the first real step to getting out of it. All right, that's a wrap for this episode. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs it. This is Smiling Cottage. See you next time.